Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, the go-to podcast for those flipping the script and taking the unexpected path. I'm your host, Jessica Bergio, holistic life and business coach, author, speaker, and self-proclaimed high-energy hype girl. Each week, I'm bringing you inside. No gatekeeping here. I'll touch on proven holistic business strategies, powerful mindset shifts that have led my clients through massive transformations, and no BS conversation with industry leaders designed to help you get out of your own way to actively pursue a life of purpose. If you're ready to ditch the limitations at the door, hit follow and get ready to be activated to step boldly towards your big goals. Now let's dive in. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Jess Bergio, and I'm coming to you from the office, from the podcast studio. And I just wanted to drop in because I feel like there's a lot that I've been holding back sharing around how I'm feeling specifically on a few things. One of them being something that I don't know about you, but I feel like I thought I had worked through, which was the resistance to show up. Anybody else? Anybody else struggle to actually show up, even though you want to be at things, you want to be invited to things, you want to be a part of things, you have been trying to manifest maybe getting into certain rooms, being invited into certain containers, being asked to be on certain podcasts if you're an entrepreneur and you're in this space, that friend group that maybe you've been admiring that you wish would invite you for dinner or drinks, whatever the case might be, a man, a partner, something business-wise. And the resistance is still there, even once maybe you get the invitation or you get the permission or you get the bravery to put yourself out there and show up. For me, the resistance still comes through of like, I had to dig into it because I can't even like fully put words to it. That's why I haven't talked about it yet. But it's like that expression where I joke, I want to be invited, but I don't really want to go. But really, I want to go because I want to have the experiences. I want to have the opportunity to connect with other people, to drop in and to be able to share who I am, my values, and have that create some sort of synergy with somebody. And so I got to experience that last night with a girlfriend who invited me to her house out in Beverly Hills, which is about a 3-hour drive if you do it in the middle of the day. And there was a lot of resistance for me in going only because the effort to get there, right? I had to leave Kai and I had to drive 3+ hours to get there. Plus, obviously, I had to turn around and drive back in the same night. I really didn't know what to expect. All I knew was that there was a woman that she had worked with. Shelly is a stylist, and this was one of her clients was launching a book. And it's interesting because once upon a time, I didn't personally know anybody who had written a book. I don't know about you. Now I've written my own book and I have several friends and a ton of acquaintances that have written books and have created amazing content. I don't know if it's the age. I don't know if it's the ability now to be able to produce content like that. That is a lot easier than it ever was 20, 30 years ago when we were younger. The ability to connect with people on such a soul level through social media, through the online space, through the podcast space, right? You and I probably have never even met, but yet here you are listening to my podcast, hopefully every single week, dropping in, tuning in, connecting to who I am, what I have to share, and hopefully getting a lot of value and perspective shifts and inspiration, motivation, all the things I desire to create impact with when I turn the microphone on to hit record. And when I sit down to have really thoughtful conversations with guests that I know have answers to things or experiences to things that I don't have, right? This is a selfish container for me to learn. Therefore, why would I not want to share that with you? And so those experiences that we see people having on social media, which is a great example to start with, we think that sometimes that's not attainable for us, or wouldn't it be nice if, or that must be nice for them, or I'm not like that, I will never have those opportunities. But what I'm here to tell you is 6 years ago, when I was still quote unquote just a hairdresser, just a salon owner, I didn't even dream of getting in rooms like that because I didn't feel qualified. I didn't feel like I would personally have anything to bring to the table. What would I have in common with quote unquote them? And it isn't until you start to see yourself in a different light and start to put yourself in a different place in your own mind, can you then feel worthy to put yourself into these rooms, to step into the space, to say, hey, I want to be a part of these amazing conversations that are being had, what's happening behind those closed doors. And I've shared with you guys time and time again how it was that got me motivated to join my first business mastermind with Chris Harder. Was he had launched an elite level mastermind for entrepreneurs making over $500,000 in their business. And I remember at the time not being anywhere close to those numbers and thinking, I wonder what they're talking about in that room. I guess I'll never know. And that pain point of feeling left out when they didn't make me feel left out, I was finally aware that that was something and somewhere that I wanted to go. So it was my own enlightenment of, wouldn't it be cool if I could get myself into that room? Okay, what's the barrier to entry? I have to be making 500,000 in my business. Great. If I look at what I'm currently doing and keep doing this, will I ever get there? And the answer was a simple no. It wasn't an emotional like, oh, those guys are so much smarter and richer than me. It's great. What do I have to do to get from here to there? Let's reverse engineer that and create a simple plan that doesn't feel overwhelming, that doesn't feel unattainable. And what I had to do eventually was invest into his lower tier mastermind, which was for entrepreneurs who were in the online space looking to scale anything. Join that and start there. Thankfully, something was created so that I could then do that. So that was super powerful for me to realize like there's always a stepping stone. And once you figure out what that next stepping stone is, it's then easier to take that step. The big ones seem super overwhelming, but when you drop it back down to what is possible and you just start with where you're at and you find a way to like take the next right step, you will find yourself in the right spaces that then introduce you to the next people you need to meet. And with that, I just want to leave you with the idea that whatever it is that you see out, whether it's on social media or in the real world, you can have it. If you see it, you desire it, you want a piece of it, you want a part of it, like you just have to figure out a way to either get the invitation, invite yourself to the table, start engaging with those people, show up, show interest. And sometimes you even have to ask for the invitation, which can feel extremely awkward, right? And I've done that in ways that felt very like giving for me, which is like volunteering in spaces that maybe I couldn't afford to pay to be in, offering to come help, right? If someone was doing something and I realized I wasn't on the guest list, I was like, hey, girl, I see you're having this really cool event. Is there any way I can come help and support you? That's a great way to get an invitation. Or if you're not at a place that you can financially afford the ticket to something, volunteering, maybe just get the flight and the hotel to get yourself there. That's how I first got into Lori Harder's world. So there is a way to get you where I know you think you want to go, to be able to have experiences that will then shift and change your life, to give you opportunity that you don't even know is possible for you. And sometimes when we stay so rooted in whatever vision we have for our current self, we can't see what's possible if we push ourselves out of our comfort zone and just take the risk and the chance to show up with no expectation, full of intention to just be and to receive and to participate in the conversations. That's where the true magic happens. And so I'm so grateful that I've been able to do that and help my clients do that. And if you are seeking more confidence to grow around showing up as the fullest version of yourself, as the version of yourself that you want to put out into the world, I'm offering to share that with you and how I help my clients work through our clarity framework and also the confidence expander. These are private one-on-one mentorships that I do with my clients that I don't often talk a ton about on here anymore because they're so sacred to me. I'm very cautious of who I bring into that space, knowing that it is a very deep work that happens to be able to unlock those root beliefs around why we feel like we're not worthy to step into certain rooms and spaces and why we maybe don't feel worthy to receive the abundance that it is that we truly desire. So if that's something you're seeking, you know where to find me. You can drop down into the show notes and just click on my Instagram and send me a DM. Also, I know some of you are sick of me talking about starting podcasts, but if you have been on social media, you've seen how many people are starting podcasts. I got to meet a few incredible women last night that had podcasts. A couple of them had TV shows, and even an older woman who produces TV shows who now also has a podcast, who then blew my mind and told me I needed to turn this podcast into a Spanish speaking podcast so I could promote it into more countries. I was like, why have I not thought of that? So there are so many things that I'm continuing to learn that make making content fun and can expand your visibility, grow your business, increase your personal brand, grow your thought leadership, whatever it is that you're trying to create and put out into the world. But if you're just here for the inspiration and the feel goods, takeaways today would be to just start showing up, putting yourself in those rooms, volunteering, asking for the invite. And if you still feel weird about that, maybe it's creating the container that you're inviting people into. Maybe you host the dinner. Maybe you host the book club for somebody. Maybe you bring people into your sacred space to create conversation that you wish had a little bit more, conversation around it, if you know what I mean. So I hope today's episode felt good and that you got something out of it. I love a good review and rating. It means the world to me and helps me really get this show out into the world. If you don't know, now you know. Your girl is in like this season of rebrand and change. And I feel a big shift happening. And I'm going to bring you guys along with what that looks like. I've made a really big investment into a branding agency that's going to help me take things to the next level. And I'm going to take you guys along that process because it's something that I help my clients with. But I know that if it is something I provide for my clients, I want to go to the best of the best as well. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is and investing at a super high level. And I'm going to bring you guys behind the scenes. So more on that. I'll share more details on who I'm working with and what that process looks like and how I ended up making the decision to go with that company and take things to the next level. But I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope you are doing something to make yourself proud each and every day and that you are living your life as unscripted as possible, uncensored, unfiltered, raw, real, just you. Show up. That's what we need.
Giving back is easy. Leave Unscripted your 5-star rating and written review. I appreciate your support more than I could ever put into words.